We're here for day 20 of the Advent Calendar 2019. I feel like the end is in sight. Hopefully you're all still cruising along with me. Today we are going to talk about linear regressions. The instructions suggest we talk about the assumptions of linear regressions. Yeah, that's a lot to go into. We're just going to jump right into it, and we're going to leave the reading as an exercise to you, the viewer. Alright, so we're going to make a linear model of the fragrance versus the Christmas magic from our tree data. Well, let's copy this code over. So, linear regressions, one of the most powerful methods you can use, in my opinion. People are all about machine learning these days, but often a plain old linear regression will get you a long way. So we're going to make sure we have the tree.dat loaded in our environment, which should be true if you haven't closed R, or if you're using a project or whatever. If you need to get it, you'll have to read that CSV back in off of the disk, and you should know how to do that by now. The syntax for the linear model function is very similar to what we saw earlier for some of the plots, where we're going to use this tilde as a kind of a function operator. So we're going to say fragrance versus the Christmas magic. And the function for fitting a linear model in R is about as concise as it can be. It's just LM. We can run the help on that to get more detail on it. But really, generally, you're just going to give it your formula and the data you want to operate on. And so let's run this line. Again, it doesn't look like much happened, but we do see an object over here in the environment called tree.lm. It's actually pretty complicated. It's a list and it has a whole lot of stuff in it. The easiest way to kind of inspect your linear model is to do a summary of the tree.lm, and we'll print that out, and you'll see there's a bunch of stuff printed. It gives us our residuals. It tells us what the original call was, what our coefficients are, and usually what most people are interested in is the p-value, which is shown down here, or at the very end here, we can see the p-value is 1.4 times 10 to the minus 13 with an r squared of 0.86 adjusted. That's a really fantastic linear fit. It seems like fragrance has a heck of a lot to do with the Christmas magic. Alright, so it says, given the p-value is close to 0, we can say that it supports our hypothesis. That's true. I mean, I'm a very conservative person. I would say that it allows us to reject the null hypothesis. But regardless, this is a very strong fit. I'm hoping that in some of the upcoming days, we're going to talk about how to plot this fit so you can visually inspect it and decide if you think it's a good fit or not. But that is all for today. We've learned to fit a very simple linear model using the LM function. As always, any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, let's move on to the next day tomorrow.